Yeah, Levi, erase that blob.
Oh, you caught me. I'm in the hallways of Harvard and working on a very complex math problem. Oh, I must be very smart.
You need therapy from Robin Williams.
Yeah, but I'm gonna reject him at first and be mean to him about his passed away wife.
Those are your defenses from your rough childhood.
Right, but it's not my fault.
It's not your fault. Hey, it's not your fault.
Stop it.
Don't you know
Stop it.
that it's not your fault?
Stop. Oh!
Do you get it now?
Yes, all my problems are fixed.
That's all that it takes.
Then you make a movie about it. That was actually their relationship in real life at the time.
No way.
Oh no.
You know, I didn't realize that it was about a guy named Will Hunting. I thought it was like, hey, you're gonna go hunting? Here's Goodwill. I didn't know. I just didn't know.
You just didn't know. It's not your fault.
There is no way for me to know. Don't you see that?
I see that. I also see that every time you exhale, the breath goes out the eyeball holes of that mask and fogs up your glasses.
Well,
I really hope they can see it, but unlikely.
That's how lions work.
Oh, they breathe out of their eye holes?
Yeah, did you not know that? What do you think about the two of us doing a sick dance break?
I feel pretty good. 1, 2, 3, go!
You've got to do better than that, Mr. Levi. Are you okay?
I'm okay, but my marker's not.
You're ruining the dance break. 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Hello, however many of you there are. All-Star, hi, what's up? How are you? Tonight's a special night, but All-Star, if you have any questions, you should ask. Oh, I didn't even put it in the thing. Okay, well, that's fine. All-Star, do you have questions? Tell me your questions. Unless you didn't say that just now. Is this right now? No, this is definitely right now. Okay, so All-Star, ask your questions. Can you actually turn off the lights? Thank you. He helped me get oh my gosh! Holy crap. Yeah, I can say crap. 1590 and a 36. That's awesome. I assume you weren't that far from those numbers before, but congrats. That's awesome. Yeah, figured. But that's cool. Are you a senior or are you not a senior? You have those two options. Oh boy. Thank you for the follows. Hello, 17 Brady 17. I don't know if you're a new user or just an old user with a new username, which is fine. But hi. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, senior. Yeah, I don't know who you are. Are you also Levi? Is that also you? Where's this stupid thing? Where is this? Give me a sec. I'm trying to pull up the chat. I just don't know where it is. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So, welcome to those of you. So, Brady or whoever you are, do you have questions tonight? Or you just switch your username, which is also cool. Also, All-Star, congrats. We will be doing, I don't know if you're still here, but we will be doing a raffle at some point in the next month or so for college application essays revisions. So like I tutor that, and I will be raffling off a couple of free hours of that. So stay tuned for that if you want to do that. If not, don't. But those are your two options. Okay, so All-Star, congrats. Brady 17, Brady, whatever your name is, do you have questions? Otherwise, while I wait, I'm going to try to figure out this chat situation because it's stupid. Yes, I want that, and I want it to show up on this screen. Oh, there it is. Great. What did you major in? I assume you're speaking to me. I majored in theater and I minored in computer science and French. That was not necessarily the best decision. It did not change the outcome of or at least where I am now. Hi, here in the moment. It didn't really change. But we now have... I want to introduce you to somebody because Brady's not here for the next half hour or so. But we're doing Bob night. So I want to introduce you to Bob. This is Bob.
Hello, everybody. Who are we working with here? Bruh, CS?
Bruh and Here in the Moment.
Here in the Moment.
Yes. They've both been here before.
Hey, Bob. Yep.
So,
I'm Bob.
Tell them why you're here.
Okay. So, everybody, I am here tonight because we're starting kind of a special, potentially monthly, maybe bi-weekly, we don't know yet, thing on stream which we call Bob Night. I am actually an interviewer, an alumni interviewer for Stanford University. So I do anywhere from, 6 to 10 interviews per admission cycle.
Have you started or no?
Haven't started yet,
Okay.
no. Actually, the first crop is this month.
Okay.
And I'm here to talk to all of you about some best practices for the college interviews, which I'm sure some of you will be, starting to go through pretty soon. I've got a couple ideas in mind, but obviously, hit me with any questions you may or may not have. I'm scared already. Yikes.
Bob's a very scary man. Look at him.
This is a tough
He's very
crowd.
scary.
Yeah. But no, I've got some ideas about where we're going to go with this, but please keep the questions coming because I'm very happy to answer them all. Wait, hold up. Am I reading?
Those are the same chat.
It's the same chat.
Yeah, it's the same
okay,
chat.
Great.
Yeah.
He needs a purple shirt. Oh, because they can't
That's
see
true.
me. I see. Okay, so here's where we're going to start today. Levi, where are the markers?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the college interview process.
This is not a Nerdist shirt, but
Not a
that's
Nerdist shirt.
bluish.
You guys see me better if I wear this? Should I put it on?
I don't know. I'll take your hat.
Okay.
You do have your first question.
What's the first thing you notice when you interview someone? The first thing I notice when I interview someone is how attractive they are on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh my gosh. Stop. Stop.
No, just kidding.
I know. but-
I'm totally kidding. Ooh, what's the first thing you notice? He needs a purple shirt. Okay, thank you. All right, no, obviously that's not true. The first thing I notice when I'm interviewing somebody is... Did I make you chuckle?
Fine. No.
Is, I guess, typically, their demeanor. If they're coming in kind of nervous, if they're coming in confident, it's not that big of a deal, but if you're genuinely asking me what's the first thing I notice, it's probably, how they're feeling. I have a pretty good sense of how my interviewee is... Should I be closer? Is feeling. But that's not that important. Honestly, it's more about the content of the interview, which leads me to... Okay, actually no, which I'm going to backtrack a little bit. The first thing that I want to talk about is the email or the text that you may or may not get from the interviewer, right? So at some point in the college admissions cycle, you are going to have applied to however many schools, and then these schools are going to reach back out to you via a college interviewer like myself on email or via text potentially to try to schedule something. It's super, super important. And actually, going back to your question here in a moment, it's super important that when you respond to that interviewer, you are using picture-perfect grammar, you are writing as though your life depends on it. Not literally, but it's important to make a really good first impression by sending back an email in, of course, ideally a timely manner, but certainly more importantly than timely is, a grammatically correct manner, right? Yes, and here in the moment, that's fine. It's okay to be casual. What I'm not saying is that you have to be super formal and precise and use, old English back when you send this email to the interviewer. It's fine to be casual. I think it's just important to show that you have a command of the English language, right? So that should go without saying. Actually, Levi, can I have a marker? I'm just going to write down what we've covered.
Do you want yellow? You want pink? You want blue?
I'm fine. Actually, I'm going to take pink. All right. So yeah. So first, we talked about email, text etiquette, right? I mean, typically this is pretty straightforward stuff, right? You're reaching out, the interviewer is reaching out to you about, setting a location and a time. It's just important to try to be prompt and use, good language when responding. Okay, second thing is how to dress for the interviewer, or for the interview, I should say. It's honestly, I think people oftentimes overthink this one and show up in a suit and tie. Typically, the interviewer will send you instructions when they reach out to you for the interviewer. It's fine to be casual. So going back to your question here in the moment, it is totally fine to dress casually for the interviewer. That being said, you don't want to roll up in sweatpants and a wife beater. You want to look, like a citizen. But that being said, on the other end of the spectrum, you don't need to be in a suit and tie. Another piece of advice, this is not something that I've personally experienced, but I know that other interviewers have. Probably not the best idea to show up wearing the college's attire. So if you're applying to Stanford, for instance, it might be kind of a weird look to show up in a Stanford sweatshirt. Okay? So again, don't overthink this one, but how to dress. Casual is fine. Casual is fine. Great. Okay. So, great. Now here's kind of the meat of our discussion today. How do I prepare for a college interview? I'm glad you asked. So yeah, it's important to have a good sense of, over prepare. Anytime I do an interview, whether it was for college a number of years back or for jobs, it's super important to over prepare. And that's because you don't want to be in a position where you're totally caught off guard. You find yourself, fumbling over your words. You just don't know what to say to the interviewer. This happens. I think typically when you're in an interview, nerves are elevated, right? So you're already a little bit more anxious. If you prepare, you're coming in with an arsenal of things, an arsenal of potential answers you can quickly spit out because you have rehearsed them, you've written them down. They don't need to be verbatim what you wrote down, but you need to have a general sense, right? And there are a number of questions that you can expect. So I'm not going to write down every question, but these are typical interview questions that you can prepare for. Okay, so the first is super general, super easy. It's often used to open an interview. Tell me about yourself. Right, so the tell me about yourself question is, I think, kind of seems like a gimme. It is, but it's also not. There is kind of a strategy for how to go about this question. Hi, Levi.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Well, I thought because maybe people are nervous, they can call you right before their interviews.
No,
with
that's
other schools. I'll put up your number.
That's not wise.
This is Bob's number.
No, he's not. Don't put up my number.
Isn't that your number?
That's not my number.
That's not your number?
No, that's not my number.
Oh, what's your number?
It's first of all, my phone number has 10 digits, not 1.
Oh,
Levi. So, and I don't even know if that number falls anywhere within the 10 digits.
Ah.
Yeah. So you're just totally off right now. Here in the moment, O_O. Got it.
It's a face.
Oh, it's a face. Okay. Okay, so tell me about yourself. My strategy for answering this question is rather than just LOL. Got it. Yeah, no, I know it's a face. I'm sorry. Rather than just kind of diving into your life story, which you can do, and it would be totally fine. I just think that there's a better way to answer this question to kind of give the interviewer a little bit more meat, and that is to go about it with three-pronged plan of start by talking about where you want to go, right? So you're there because you see yourself at, I'm going to keep using Stanford because that's the school that I interview for. You see yourself at Stanford, and here are the reasons why, and then kind of segueing. So it's almost like a thesis, right? Like it's like you're starting an essay, and you want to immediately catch the interviewer's attention rather than just being like, all right, I was born on Long Island, I spent 18 years there, whatever it is. Give them something to latch onto. I want to go to Stanford, here's why, right? And then this is who I am, and these are the reasons, like these are the things that informed this decision of mine to apply to Stanford, right? So it's almost like just like a little bit of strategy to it instead of just kind of diving into a general, went to school, I went to high school here, I took these classes, I played these sports. All right, so that's the first question that is often asked is tell me about yourself, and it's pretty vague, you can do a lot with it. Then another question that's also kind of broad but also very important, and a lot of schools, especially some of the elite schools, really want to see the way you answer this. Tell me what you're passionate about, right? So oftentimes this comes up in the college essay. I think it is certainly more important to articulate it well there, but if you can articulate it well to the college interviewer, it's another like kind of little boost right in the application. So make sure that you come in prepared to talk intelligently to the things that you're most excited about. These things don't have to be academically related, right? So it's great if you're excited about chemistry, but if you're also excited about, whatever it is, polo or swimming, tell me why. Don't just vaguely say, oh, I'm excited about swimming because I'm a good swimmer. Really give me a story. If you're...
You see the question?
What if the interviewer doesn't like your passion? It's not important. So here in the moment, not important. It's far more important to... And they actually train us for this. So I'm telling you, literally from the way that I was trained, from the perspective of the administrators of Stanford, it's much more about the way that you present your passion than it is about what the actual passion is. So you're not going to, with rare exception, unless your passion is hurting people, which I highly doubt that it is, I don't think that that's going to really be a factor. So you don't have to worry about that. But just make sure that you're prepared to speak intelligently to some of the things you're excited about. Cool. So another question, and this is a gimme, and this is obvious, is, to talk about some of the things, academically that you did in high school. So tell me about your favorite class in high school, right? Tell me about the most challenging class you took in high school, right? So, yes, I missed this. Is it fine if your passion isn't related to your major? Totally. The interviewers don't expect you to come in necessarily with a fine-tuned idea of what you want to major in. They expect you to have a couple things, right, that you're interested in academically, and they expect you to have done some research into the school so you have an idea of what some of the majors are, but you don't have to know, hands down what your major is going to be. And it's completely fine if your passion isn't related to your major. Right, so one of the things I was most passionate about in high school was theater and the performing arts, and I came into Stanford and went down a completely different track academically. I was still able to pursue theater extracurricularly, right? So, but the fact that I came in and I talked a lot about that to my interviewers, knowing full well that I wasn't going to major in it, was completely fine. It just showed that there were a number of things outside of the classroom that I liked. Hi, meme. __ N.
Meme.
And Slayer Darth. Hello. Hello, team. Wow, it's getting rowdy in here. Here in the moment. Hey, I think another thing to keep in mind, going back to CS's question, is that it's almost better. What extracurriculars do colleges care about? We'll get to that meme. I'm actually just going to finish my answer with CS. But I think interviewers and college administrators, the folks that are reading your applications, it's almost more important. So it's almost better for your passion one of the passions that you talk about in the interview or in your essays to not be related to what you like academically, because it shows that you have a breadth of interest. And a lot of colleges are looking for, yes, obviously they want, the top schools are looking for high achievers academically, great test scores, but they're looking for people who are going to contribute to campus culture and campus life and are going to get involved in things and not just spend all of their time studying in the library, right? So it's almost better, bruh CS, if you talk about something that's not related to your major. That being said, if you're super stoked about chemistry, talk about chemistry. Okay, so going back to what extracurricular, to meme, to your question, interesting question. There is no right answer, right? So it's not like you're going to impress college X, I'll go back to Stanford more if you're super interested in horseback riding versus the Quiz Bowl team. It's more about what you contributed to the horseback riding team while you were in high school, right, or junior high, or whatever it is. It's more about like leadership positions that you held, the amount of time, the amount of hours that you put into it outside of school each week, than it is about the actual type of extracurricular, if that makes sense, right? So I would, especially, I mean, I'm assuming I'm talking to a bunch of juniors and seniors. It's not like you guys really have too much time to get super involved in some things now. So just, you don't have to go out and join the debate team simply because you think it looks good. Just try to spend more time, really honing in on the things that you love and, doing a lot with those things. Okay. I'm not from the U.S., but hoping to pursue studies in the U.S. at some point. Great. Looking at an engineering discipline, pre-med gang. Fantastic. We love that, Levi.
It's the only thing you like, right?
It's literally the only thing that I like. So that's great. Okay, going back to my handy-dandy list of questions that you can use to prepare. We were talking about your favorite classes in school. This goes back to the passions question. What are you involved in outside of school? So hopefully you have a couple things that you can talk about, whether it's sports or theater or volunteering that you were involved in outside of school. And again, it's super important to have a couple of those things in your back pocket because schools, especially schools of the caliber of a Stanford or a Harvard, are looking for people who are going to contribute, right, outside of the classroom. Certainly, academics are they're a given. You better be coming in with straight A's and you better be coming in with a great SAT score. But yeah, I mean, I think the extracurriculars and the things you're pursuing outside of the classroom are what's going to be the differentiator. Can we talk about taking care of siblings or no? 100% here in the moment. That's a great question.
Unless you're bad at it and then don't.
Right. No. Seriously though, that's a great question because that's something that you did extracurricularly, right? If you're in a position where your parents are out of the house, your guardians are out of the house, and you need to be there for your younger sibling, and that took up whatever it is, 20 to 30 hours a week, you better be damn sure that you can talk about it. In fact, you should talk about it because if you don't, then there's going to be this gaping hole in your resume or during the interview or during the essays where it's like, all right, what was this person doing outside of school? Okay, cool. Why not here in the moment? Because that's what I had to do. I feel like that's lame. No, it's not lame. There you go. Hey, Slayer Darth.
Slayer Darth coming in.
Dude,
Yeah.
Slayer Darth, that is a person after my own heart. Yeah, no, here in the moment. Is washing the dishes an extracurricular? All right, so, here's where the gray area, I think they're starting to fool with me.
I don't know, I mean, maybe.
I mean, here's the deal. If washing the dishes realistically is not going to take you any more than 30 minutes. If, all right, let's kind of flip this a little bit. So if, chores...
You're a dishwasher.
If you're a dishwasher and you're literally getting paid to wash dishes, certainly you should talk about any jobs that you're bringing in money doing or any jobs that you're doing as a volunteer. Definitely you can talk about. But if you're telling me, you're washing dishes as a chore for your parents, unless it's something that's taking up some obscene amount of your time for some very specific niche reason, I don't know. I think that's kind of up to you. Can I talk about an online gaming team I play with competitively? Yes. BruCS, I think that the question that you may get, and that initially comes to mind for me, is that gaming team, okay, is that something that you're doing, purely as a hobby for fun, or is this something that you're doing to make money? I guess the question is why, are you sinking all your time just into this game because you're obsessed with it, or is there more of a, I guess it has to do with the reason that you're kind of doing the online gaming.
I will interject to help answer this question because I deal with college application essays. So, first of all, people who are not your age do not have as much understanding of video games as people your age. So, they are baseline not going to care about it as much as you do. Baseline. So, keep that in mind. But if you want to talk about the community you have surrounding the online games that you play, that's interesting and that's very human. If you have made thousands and millions of dollars winning Fortnite tournaments, sure, talk about that too. Like if there's some level of success or some level of community or something like that that is generalizable to like any human experience, then that's a good idea. But you have to find that avenue. If you just like shooting zombies in something, then that's not going to interest your interviewer unless you get very lucky and they also like that thing. But the community thing is very possible.
Boom. Thank you, Levi, for coming in there for the tag team. Slayer Darth, what do you think are the main aspects I need to be made aware of when applying for studies in the U.S. as a non-domestic student?
Are you doing masters or PhD? What type of programs? Because Slayer Darth is not applying to college.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know.
I'm an undergrad. I'm talking specifically about undergraduate interviews, so I don't know that I can help you there.
How do I mention this?
Undergrad.
Oh, it is undergrad. Sorry, Slayer. I thought you weren't doing that.
Okay.
Slayer is in the UK.
Got it. Slayer.
Do they have? I assume does Stanford, for example, have interviewers in the UK?
No.
They fly you out, right?
No, they don't fly you out.
They should probably fly you out.
They don't fly you out. I think as it stands, Stanford doesn't, but there is the option to do FaceTime or video chat interviews. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I mean, so Slayer Darth, I'm just to be clear, I don't know if this question is a broader like application to undergrad question or because I'm speaking specifically right now at least about the interview process. So I guess for you, the answer is, you should probably just look into whether or not these schools even host interviews abroad. I think some of them likely do. I'm pretty sure Stanford has at the very least like a FaceTime option. I don't know if there is like a fully fleshed out UK interview program there though. So anyway, you should just be looking into whether or not, an interview even exists. Many colleges it doesn't. I'm talking about, that handful of colleges, typically of the more elite stature that require interviews. To be clear, Stanford does not require them. I just want to make that because I keep coming back to that. Okay. Is being shy a drawback for an interviewee?
You missed one question.
Oh, I missed a question. I am a temporary calculus teacher in my school and a student counselor. That's awesome. These are things, Meme, that you should 100% be bringing up wherever you can, both in your application essays and then, as during the college interview, because I'm assuming that's something that takes up a decent chunk of your time. I'm assuming you're only there because you're pretty damn good at calculus, right? Or good at, counseling, speaking with students, speaking with colleagues. That's really important. And I think, that shows an academic, kind of an area in academia that you excel in, as well as something that you've put a lot of time in outside of class, extracurricularly, something that you're passionate about, maybe.
Asked, how does he bring it up?
How do I mention this? Yeah, I mean, well, another good question. During the interview, there's a very good chance, as I mentioned earlier, that you'll be hit with a kind of a broad, talk to me about something you're passionate about, tell me about things you're passionate about academically, what do you do extracurricularly, so you can just dive into it that way, right? I mean, I would be shocked if you had an interview where they didn't kind of leave you with some time to talk about your general interests and passions. So you should be fine there. Okay, cool. Undergraduate. Is being shy a drawback for an interviewee? Okay, here in the moment. Excellent question. No. The answer is no. The interviewer isn't looking necessarily for somebody who is super gregarious and lively. They're just looking for somebody who can speak intelligently about the things that excite them academically, extracurricularly. And one thing that I haven't gotten to, because we're getting a lot of questions right now, is that make sure, and we'll definitely cover this during the next Bob night, make sure you've done your homework, right? So the same way that you prepare for class by doing your homework for, whatever, biology, you should be damn sure that you're going to spend a couple hours looking into the school that you're applying to and being ready to talk about specifics, right? About the things that interest you about Stanford, for instance. Not just, I want to go to Stanford because it's a great school. No, what program, what major, which of the 3 undergraduate schools are you most interested in at Stanford? Which of the extracurricular clubs are you most interested in joining, right? So make sure you've done your homework when you're showing up.
How do you feel about that? You said
Boston
that. Do you
advice.
remember saying that?
Make your interviewer more uncomfortable than you are. No, I didn't say that.
I thought you said that.
I did not say that.
You remember saying that, Rob? Bob?
No, I definitely... I'm going to go ahead and have Levi erase that because...
you always say that, though.
No, don't. All right, so... Okay, my time is rapidly coming to an end, so I'm going to try to just kind of zoom through these last couple questions. And
You can't stay past 8.
I can stay another 5 minutes,
Okay.
but I actually have to...
Yeah, I got you.
Where was I? Okay, so we talked about being shy. Yeah, no, being shy is fine. I mean, it's completely fine to be more reserved, as I said. It's just make sure that the content of what you're saying is, researched, it's eloquent, right? It's you've put some you've put some preparation in. That's really what's most important.
And you do want them to try, even if the person is shy, you want them to connect with you, ideally, right?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, if you can find a way to connect with your interviewer, and your interviewer, by the way, wants you to do well. These are not, I would say 95% of the time they want you to do well. Even when I was interviewing for schools, I can't remember a bad interview experience where the person was like grilling me. They're not there to grill you. They're there to just kind of try to get a broad sense of, will you fit into the culture at this school? Do you have what it takes to succeed there? What are you going to bring to the table, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to zoom through. Would an interview for Stanford be optional, or would they just ask specific people who they want more information on? It is completely optional, Bruss, yes. So if you don't do it, it can't harm you, and nobody is going to force you in any situation.
Yeah. I didn't interview.
Yeah, you do not have to. I did interview. So if you do the interview, there's a decent chance that it could bolster your chances because it actually does count as like a small portion if you do it. If you don't do it, that section of your application is just goes away. So it's up to you. It could help you. In some rare cases, it might hurt you if, I highly doubt it would hurt you. But yeah, you do not have to do it. It's completely optional. Okay. Even though I'm fairly certain I want to say, I think there's everyone. Great. That is awesome. Really, really introverted gang. Why did Levi write that? Where is Bob? I'm right here. I don't know. I can see him. How much of an emphasis do the more selective schools within the U.S. place on past test scores in comparisons to retakes? I think Levi might be better able to answer this.
Yeah, so with the retakes thing, it really depends on the school. The more selective the school, the less forgiving they are of lower scores at any point. They're just less so. But, what happens in the admissions offices is murky when it comes to exactly how they do that. Many of the schools have a number that they are contributing to just because they need to have some way to quantify things. But there's no way to know. It's on an individual basis. Like if you did terribly on the ACT, but you can do much better, take it again. If you did pretty well, you're happy with it, and you don't want to study anymore, you want to put your time to other things, do that instead. And then cliches to avoid when writing essays. Can you be a little more specific? Hi, Cabin Boy. How are you?
Hey, Cabin Boy, Cam.
Yo, is Mart on?
God, who?
Has Mart been saying stuff?
Who's Mart?
I don't think so.
Mart told me he was going to be asking us questions.
Here, bring Bob in the middle.
Bring Bob in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you request or how much? Taking it.
You guys neglected Hear the Moment's question?
Can you request an interview? I think that's the one. Yeah. You skipped over.
Cabin Boy, just so you know, we are not streaming tomorrow because it's Halloween, but we are streaming Friday evening, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to hit can you request an interview very quickly. It depends on the school, right? It depends on the school. Most schools will give you the option, right? So they'll say you can interview, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to. You do not have to at most places, like Stanford. And then some schools, depending on where you live. So a lot of it's going to come down to geography. Okay, suddenly questions are coming in real quick. What cliche should we avoid when writing essays? That's a Levi question. I think Levi asked for clarification. Did we get that clarification? No, we did not. Okay. Hey, Bob.
Oh, it's 17 Brady 17. Ah.
No, wait, is that...
I would, well, you're asking who's Mart.
They neglected my question.
They were here at the very beginning of the stream. I don't know when Mart was texting you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Who's Mart? I'm confused. Who is who? Brady is weird. Everyone make fun of him. Why? Sad face. Bob, I did an interview on Saturday, but how do I know how well I did? Because I'm scared. They were really friendly with me, though. 17 Bird, fly away, sir. Okay, Cabin Boy Cam. Excellent question. Knowing you, you probably did very poorly. And that's just something I can tell by reading the content of your questions. But
Very
better,
good.
yeah, better luck next time. All right, 17 Bird.
Wait,
fly away.
actually.
Oh, no, I'm kidding. Cabin Boy Kim.
Uh,
It's a good question. I think that one thing you could do that actually might work pretty well in your favor is to follow up with the interviewer, and this goes for everybody. A very well-timed thank you note goes a long way in any interview that you ever do, but especially the college interview. If you follow up, I'd say give it anywhere within 2 to 48 hours. It's super appropriate to send a thank you text or a thank you email and say, thanks so much. It was a pleasure getting to know you and learning more about Stanford, let's say. I had a great time connecting, and then maybe bring up a couple specifics that you talked about, right? Just to make it clear that you were engaged and paying attention. And then you could ask something like, would love to hear about any feedback you might have for me, right? So Cabin Boy Cam, that's a way to actually know, definitively by reaching out directly to your interviewer, sending a nice thank you note, and asking for feedback. Okay, thank you. Why did he say that? Oh my God. Said that to me, I would be crying. Bob, are they extorting you to be here? Have you fallen for the pyramid scheme? Excellent question. Yes and yes to this. Yeah, 17 Brady 17 gets it. I have fallen to the pyramid scheme.
Yep, we got him selling Nerdish.
They got me selling Nerdish. The minute I step off screen, I go into a room where I'm shackled to the wall for the next 24 to 48 hours. They let me out of pee and poop like once every 2 days, and that's it.
Yeah, we really compress him.
Bruss CS is interviewing for clown science at Circus College.
Oh.
That's what the CS stands for.
All right, now wait a second.
I'm getting confused here because that seems like a Mart comment.
no, it's not. It's not.
That's what I'm interviewing. Here in the moment, that's what I'm interviewing for. Why is Bob not wearing the same Slayer Darth? That is an excellent question. It's because I'm on a slightly lower stature than the two of them, as
Yeah.
I just joined the pyramid scheme.
Yeah, when Rob sells enough nerdish knives and facial cream products, he will be able to have a nerdish shirt.
And remember, you can always recruit people to sell Nerdish,
Yes.
and you'll get a portion of the proceeds that they
Right.
sell.
Right.
So
Yeah.
eventually, you look around, you're driving the Mercedes, and you realized you made it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on the backs of people who are even stupider than you are.
Cabin Boy Kim, I'm majoring in clown transportation at Clown College. Excellent.
Now, I have a question about the interview, Rob.
Yeah.
I've heard that the hallmark of a good interview is that at the end of it, one of you asks the other to go on a date.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true, or is that not true?
It's funny. It's a great question, Levi. You were talking to me about this the other day, if I recall. Levi actually, after his, I think it was it the interview at Michigan or was it Illinois?
I only applied to one school and I didn't interview.
He actually went to first base with his interviewer after the Michigan interview.
Is that true?
No!
Yeah. He got some. If I recall, there was some tongue action involved in that one. So
Rob doesn't quite know what we do and don't say on stream, so he's got to really push in.
No, let's be very clear. There will not be a scenario, or at least I hope there won't be, where you are in any way
Hopefully.
flirting or.
Rob, I think you're up. You're
Okay, you were the one that wanted me to stay more. All right, so let's see. I'm interviewing. Okay,
Jeez.
I'm interviewing for my
He's
local
liking it, isn't he?
community college's gender studies program. Very competitive. That's great. I'm sure it is. What is the most oddball question that they can throw at you? That's a good question. That's a great question.
They might ask you that question exactly.
Mm-hmm.
and then you won't know who they is, and you won't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Okay, here's what I will say. Oddball questions, I mean, they could literally ask you anything. They won't, but something that you should be prepared for is a question like this. What would you say your biggest weakness is, right? Something that's like, okay, interesting. And now I have to start thinking about what, is it a trick question? The answer is no, it's not a trick question. They do just kind of want to get a sense as to, your self-awareness, how you think about yourself, your ability to be vulnerable, right? To be humble and honest with the interviewer. So my biggest weakness is actually a question that comes up quite often, and the answer can be quite telling. All right, we have a lot of things coming in.
No, it's all dumb.
What is there? Say, come on, say, my biggest weakness is socks with sandals. Great. Is studying medicine in the U.S. worth it? Okay, I'm over my quota. I'm going back to my room to be shackled to the wall. It's been a pleasure. This is hopefully going to be the first Bob night of many, right? So make sure
Don't
you
do that. The
make sure.
microphone's right there.
Oh, microphone's right there.
Yeah.
So make sure you tell these guys how much you love me, because if I get good reviews, I get to come back more often.
Yes, and we
Right.
take you outside for a walk
They take
twice
me
a
outside
day.
for a walk twice a day, as opposed to once every 2 days. You're very welcome. Okay, it was a pleasure. Goodbye, team. Here you are, Levi.
Okay.
Yay, Bob.
Bob, you have a marriage proposal.
Marriage proposal.
Yeah.
This is something I think that Warren's coming back on. Oh, will you marry me?
Say no.
I'm gonna leave it open ended, so I'm not gonna say yes or no to that. I think we just have a lot of getting to know each other to do first. Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Yay!
All
He
right.
did it.
Okay, so we can do normal stream stuff now. Do you have questions about actual stuff, or we can, talk more about college app process, anything like that? Whatever you all want to do is totally fine.
It's completely fine. They know that, right?
Free Bob. You're starting a hashtag campaign, Free Bob. That's good, guys. You should do that.
You get some sort of way with those viewers. Some sort of way.
All right, team. It's been a pleasure.
Bye, Bob.
Bye.
Leave word.
Yes, Bird.
Leave word.
So you might think that I'll give you a little bit of leeway because you've been working for the last half hour, but you've been getting paid a lot for the last half hour. Wow. So come on up here, Bert.
Yeah, whatever. All right, whatever.
You texting your girlfriend?
On my calculator?
Yeah.
Yes, my girlfriend is my calculator.
That makes sense.
Very good.
You teach math, dude.
What?
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 You teach math.
Can you do biology questions? Depends on the question. But not really. Probably not. If no one else is asking questions. Why is this open?
I don't know.
Can we change it?
Can you maybe? We could maybe do some bio. Can you do bio questions?
What's the question? We'll tell you if we can do them after we see them.
Cabin boy, what do you need to work on? You're taking the SAT again, so you don't want to do that. So let's make it worthwhile. So what's going on? What have you had struggles with before when you took the test?
Oh, jeez. Mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell.
Excuse me.
It's the powerhouse. It's the powerhouse.
Brady majored in
Kicking butt, taking names. Actually, also kicking butt and chewing bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. That's not true. I'm still chewing
we
it.
got some questions. Jerk
hey,
off. Hi, what's up?
Yeah, here in the moment. Yeah, it's the powerhouse of the cell. That's what
It
you
wasn't
that's
jerk
what you're
off.
wondering.
I thought it. Okay, it's meme. Meme. Where are these questions from?
This
Can
is
we
like
make
math
this up?
too.
Okay. I'm gonna draw that one. That looks fun, actually.
We could probably do this.
I'm just gonna draw it.
Yeah, but we could probably do this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna draw it.
Yeah, but we could probably do this. Cabin boy Cam, it needs to be exactly 20, right? Like you don't want to go over that or under that, because there is only one way to do exactly 20. It's a very, very specific balancing act.
Can you make up values for this, please?
Sure. Oh, see, remember, this is question 3, so there's no way this is from SAT.
Oh my gosh.
Why do you feel the need to change this?
Because I want to. It's still owned by the SAT.
You don't know that.
It is literally the same company.
I'm not sure that it's...
I don't want to have this conversation anymore. I want you to make up
Fine.
values for me.
All right, 7
For what?
for the top and the bottom. 5 for the left and right. And 3 for the flaps.
Why not 3, my lord?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, yes, my lord.
3 for the flaps.
3 for what flaps, my lord?
Okay. Cabin Boy Cams can go under, but he can't go. He can go over, but he can't go under. What does he have against going under?
So what's the question?
Question is, what is the volume of the solid if you fold this thing up? And this is Meme's question. Oh, man. Cabin Boy Cam. I mean, the short answer is if you really, really want to increase your score very quickly, contact us for tutoring. The long answer is keep watching us and you need to take practice tests, take math sections, find the things you're getting wrong and bring them to our attention and we will address them.
Yes, we will give them a great deal of attention on Friday or tonight because we still have 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yes. All right. You want me to work here? You want me to get something done?
Yeah, I think
All
you
right.
should probably.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. We got a piece of paper here. Those dotted lines are where we're folding it, okay? So these two flaps are going to fold up. This thing is going to fold up. This thing is going to fold up. And this thing is the top that's going to fold over, okay? It is tricky to do these if visualizing them doesn't come clearly to you, okay? So this is going to be a rectangular prism. It's going to be like a cardboard box.
Hey, Brady?
Yes.
Your girlfriend's calling?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you.
Talk to her.
Oh, hey, 84. Yeah, Levi's being a complete doofus right now. Can I call you back later?
Here, let me talk to her. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, he is working.
That's my girlfriend.
Yeah, I know.
So, a rectangular prism's volume is length times width times height. All right, we got something that looks a little bit like this. Aha. All right, you got your length, you got your width, you got your height. So we just need to know that for this. All right, the base of this thing is going to be this. I'll just call it that. That's totally, it's the easiest thing. How did you say I could increase my score again? Contact whomst? Cabin Boy, contact us, Levi and Brady. We tutor. We privately tutor. Extremely private. Yeah, no one else is there. And we can laser focus like a laser on your weaknesses and literally obliterate them. You'll be getting so many points, you won't know what to do with all the points. They'll be overflowing. This will be the bottom here, all right? This is 7, this is 5, all right? That is the same thing as this being 7 and that being 5, all right? You fold the sides. The sides here, these flaps, are going to be your height. So what this is going to be, it's going to be a 7 by 5 by 3. You can imagine all these things folding up. This is just the lid. It's going to be matching the base of it. It's just going to be, you know, above it by 3 units. So 7 by 5 by 3 is going to be 7 by 5 by 3, which gives us 35 times 3, which gives us 105. That is going to be the volume of that pattern. Who in this chat is a senior? 5 times 7 is a senior boys. For tutoring, I'll ask my parents if they can afford it. But do you help with just ACT and SAT, even in tutoring? Even in tutoring? No. We do other stuff as well. Levi does college essays. We both do math up to and including calculus. I throw some physics in there. I throw some chemistry in there. So some other stuff as well. Meme. Hopefully that helped. You can apply that to your problem. Very good. Economics or no? Nah, no. I'd have to review stuff. So yeah, forget it. Okay, we can talk biology. I would have to I can do the biology subject test, but as far as just tutoring you for your biology class, kind of. No art history. Psychology. No. None of that stuff. Anyway, all right. This is the next Meeman. Let's give us a little spritz. Little spritz. But physics class, yes. Yes, big time physics. Physics big time. I love it. Love physics. Huge fan of physics and all the things that it teaches us. It teaches us how to be better people. You know, when I think about the direction of force that a magnetic field will have on a moving charge, I think to myself, I need to be kind. That's why I like
Hey,
physics.
Bert, can you get the fluid that's on the top right of the screen?
The food?
Fluid bit.
Do you want it? I'm going to give it to you?
Yeah.
Anyway, you have a class of wombology. I wumbo, you wumbo, he, she, wumbo. Wumbo, wombology, the study of wumbo. It's first grade, SpongeBob. Is it first or third? And then he just says, Patrick, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. That's because you got it on M for mini, when you should have it on W for wumbo. First grade, SpongeBob. That's right. Kevin, chemist. Chemist, very good, yes. Reach out to us. Like this. And we'll contact, we'll let you know, yeah. All right, Meeman. I'm going to finish cleaning this up, and then we're coming back. Coming back for more. Woo! Hey-o. Woo! That's because you got it on M for mini, when it should be on W for wumbo. I wumbo, you wumbo, he, she, wumbo. Wumbo. Okay, so, yeah, this is great. This is just great. All right. So, there is a substance, and the substance is very substantial. And it decays so that half of the mass is left. It's not a great marker. At the end of each day. All right, pretty exciting so far. Okay. If the mass at the beginning of the first day is MO. Okay, so beginning mass is M naught. So that's a little zero there. Do I schedule a free consultation or... Yeah, we would talk to your parents over the phone. For free. Pretty exciting. Which of the following would express the mass remaining at the end of T days? So we want an expression. Ooh, this is good. For mass at the end of T days. Yeah.
Dude, make it stop.
You don't like this?
No.
Why? Oh, that's good. Excellent. Okay. Exponential decay. Half-life. These are just some words I'm throwing at you that have to do with what's going on. The half-life of a substance is the amount of time it takes for half of the substance to decay, and thus half of it is left. You know, my family and I, we have this fun game. Why do you want us to not say your name? No, you're very adamant about that. For the name, do you want one of my... Never mind. You know what? Go on our website, which is listed below, Accelerate Tutoring, and just fill out the form, and then we can follow all that stuff up. Okay, so my family and I play this game called Half-Life for dessert at restaurants, where when it starts getting close to like the slice of cake being gone, you don't want to take the last bite because that's rude. So you take half of it and then you eat it. And the next person takes half of what's left and then they eat it. And pretty soon it's like a tiny morsel, but that's kind of what's half-life. You know, it's, yeah. So anyway, exponential decay. Just to remember or to remind you, here's the overall formula for exponential growth or decay, where A is your initial, B is your growth or decay factor. So it's what you're multiplying by each time. And X is the number of growth cycles or decay cycles. Basically, we use it as like time. Okay? So in this case, they want an expression for the mass at the end, which is what Y is. So Y is final. So Y is going to be our initial value they tell us, which is m naught, our growth factor or our decay factor. Well, we're decaying. What do we multiply by every single time? 1/2. If you take 50% of what you're currently at, you will get to where you will be at the end of the day. So that's what you're multiplying by each time. If you multiply by 1, you're going to stay where you are. You multiply by more than 1, you're going to be growing. Anything less than 1, you're going to be decaying. So m naught times 0.5. And at the end of t days, meaning they just want a general expression so we can put whatever we want in for t, and we'll figure out how much is left. You multiply by 0.5 for every day. So that is going to be our exponent. That is the number, that's the time here. Let's just make sure this seems right. There's a lot of, so this is m naught, that is multiplication, and then that is 0.5t. If you want to find how much you're going to have at the end of your first day, you would plug 1 in for t, and you'd have m naught times 0.5 to the first power, which is just 0.5. That makes sense. 2 days, it's going to be 0.5 squared. Multiply by 0.5, multiply by another 0.5. That will get you what you have at the end of 2 days. So that right there is the expression that you are going to need. Now let us make sure this makes sense here. Interesting. None of these. Oh, interesting. Okay. So the answer is in a slightly different form here. So is this on the ACT? Exponential decay is on the ACT. So you do have to understand this for some problems. So the way that they put it in the answers. Yes, Laird, what's your question? This is equivalent to m naught times 1/2 to the t. And then that would be equivalent to m naught times 1 to the t over 2 to the t. And 1 to any exponent will just be itself. So m naught basically times 1 over 2 to the t. And your 1 is doing nothing there, so I'll just erase it. And that gives you m naught over 2 to the t, which is equivalent to that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is a Math 2 question. Exponential decay and growth will be on the ACT and SAT, so you do need to know. This is Math 2, I assume. You do need to know the overall, the general form of exponential growth and decay and how that works. Just re-reviewing the trigonometry video you made for me. When you simplify the radical. Wait, this is an SAT question? Is that the format most questions expect to use? I'm so tired of this test. The simplified radical it is. It's not Math 2, it's on the ACT. Oh, never mind. Math 2. Yeah, no, this is Math 2. So this is a trickier problem. You're not going to see a problem that is this difficult, but you will see some related problems. Slayer Darth, yeah, it's generally good practice to simplify your radicals. I mean, it depends on what the test is, because if it's multiple choice, you'll see if you need to simplify them or not. You might not need to. Might be like root 80. You can do more than that, but if your answer is root 80 and there's an answer that says root 80, then you're good. That kind of thing. Anyway, so I think that was a meme question. Meme. Oh, so many meme questions. Meme, does that make sense? Can you input a square root on the SAT write-ins? No, you may not. No, you may not. Which has easier math, the SAT or the ACT? The ACT is faster. The SAT has harder questions, is what I will say. You need to have more of a conceptual understanding for the SAT. For the ACT, it's a little more plug and chug. And just like I always say, if you find yourself plugging but then not chugging, you're doing something wrong. If you look up and you're chugging without having first plugged, you're also doing something wrong. Here in the moment, love the caps. Love them. Love the caps. Keep them coming big time. They fetch a pretty penny these days on the caps market. OMG, the sarcasm. That's not sarcasm. Consult a doctor. Here in the moment, what was me? Thanks, I cried. Don't cry. I don't know which one is best for me. I'm scared. Cabin Boy Cam, there's plenty of practice ones online. We have some linked below. Just set aside some time. You don't have long. Cabin Boy, are you a junior or are you a senior? Is this the last one? We'll also talk, but that's senior. All right. Let's see what we have next. Okay. Because you don't have time to choose between the ACT and SAT if you're a senior. This weekend is the last SAT, and then there's one in December. I guess you could take that, but like, there's an SAT and ACT in December. Those would be the last possible scores that colleges could look at before they evaluate your application. Is it? I was going to take this SAT one. Yeah, this is the last one. Yeah, okay. Well, Levi, what's today, Wednesday?
Yes.
I don't know how much tutoring... I mean, 20 points is not too much. Stress level 100. Yeah, I believe there's an SAT and an ACT in December as well, but wherever you're applying, make sure that they would accept scores that late. I'm not sure if they would.
I mean, tutoring...
20 points is not a lot.
Oh, I stood up too much.
You always do that. You have freckles?
What?
You have freckles in your arms.
Yes.
I never knew that.
Yeah. I'm your business partner.
I know that. I just didn't realize my business partner had freckles on his arms.
Yeah.
Sorry. Here in the moment, depends on the test. Certain tests are harder than others.
900 is generally a pretty good one.
900's not. That's not possible. It's not possible.
Oh. Okay. What were you talking about with the tutoring not being effective?
No, I'm just saying, if this is for this Saturday, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, unless you like take a practice test and then what one of your major problems is really easy to fix, but you just don't know what it is, then yeah, it won't be that effective.
Yeah, you need to put some time. Hey, Meeman! 160 points on the October essay. That's huge.
That's cool.
That's huge. Can you match my tone, my pitch?
Yeah.
Huge.
I thought we were gonna start with that.
I'm sorry. All right.
That.
All right. Ready? That.
Huge.
I'm gonna slap you in the slap zone.
Don't slap me in the slap zone.
Slap you in the slap zone. Yeah.
I'll slap you in your slap zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the next one. Okay,
that's cool.
To the midpoint of a line 0, 0. The line. Oh, this is a fun one. All right. So, midpoint of a line segment. Segment Freud is 0, 0. All sorts of stuff here. Okay. And the length of the segment we go. Length of the segment is 4. And the question is, which of these points could be one of the endpoints? So we have -3, 0. We have -2, 2.
Chemist, we got your message from our website. We just can't answer it now.
3 halves, -3 halves. D is 3 halves, comma, -1/2. And E is 2, 1. So which one of those points would be one of the endpoints of this line? Wait, does Chemist expect us to already?
No. He just wasn't sure I was going through it. Or maybe talking to somebody else. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, so if you think about what this thing would look like, jeez. Let me just draw an example. Oh my gosh. Here's one example, all right? This is a line segment with a distance of 4. The midpoint is the origin. So the origin cuts it in half, which means we have a segment of 2 and a segment of 2 around it, okay? But we don't know anything else about it. That's all we know. So I can spin this thing and create a bunch of other line segments that all they need to have in common is they have 0, 0 as their center point, and they have 2 and 2 as their line segment lengths around it. So that is the question. All of these endpoints are going to fall on a circle. A circle of radius 2. Radius 2. So we're trying to figure out which one of these would be an endpoint. I should probably write that. Okay. A possible endpoint. If they are a possible endpoint, they're a possible endpoint, they have to be on this circle. Meeman says, oh, all right. Meeman, you want me to continue, or do you feel like you know where to go from here? Yes, very good. Next question, Meeman? Or should I beat this one into the ground? What do you want me to do, Meeman? I'll continue if you'd like, or I'll move on. Got it. All right, I take that as a move on. Okay. Very good. Oh, that's kind of fun. Yes. Okay, all right. Here we go. Here is some homework. This is not a trademark violation. It's just an ethics violation. Okay. Wait, so was the answer any of those? No, I mean, the answer was one of these. The answer is, yeah, you have to figure out which one of these points is 2 units away from the center. Right? Because a circle is, the definition of a circle is it's a set of points. It is the set of all points that are a certain distance away from a central point. So all of these points here are 2 units away from the origin. So if you do the distance formula, exactly, okay, good. Okay, very good. So, Meeman, 47 or 48 or both? What would you like? You could have whatever you like. Okay, letting it dry. I'm gonna let it dry. 47. Okay, the range of the piecewise function is what? Interval notation. 47 only. Got it. Okay, that's good. There we go. Good. Okay. Well, I would say that easiest way to do a lot of math problems, or the biggest tool, is visualization. So here, if we can see a graph of what this thing looks like, then the range will be a lot easier to understand. So let's do our best to draw out what this thing kind of looks like in a very crude fashion. Doesn't need to be perfect. It's going to be crude. Okay, so our coordinate plane. One of these functions ends at 6, and the other one picks up at 6. Tomorrow, all right, Levi.
Mm-hmm.
Chemist's mom says call her tomorrow at noon.
Great.
Okay, sounds good. So 6. Get out of here. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is where one cuts off, the other one starts. So this is not an asymptote, but think of this as the dividing line between both functions. One of them is going to pick up from here. The other one is going to stop. And I need the payment. Chemist, we will talk. Yeah, we do a payment thing through an invoice platform. All right, let's start with what's to the right of this thing. If x is greater than or equal to 6, the line is negative 2x plus 5. Okay, so it's hard to start that on this line. I'm going to start it where it normally would start, which is at positive 5 as the y-intercept. So 3, 4, 5. And then this has a slope of negative 2. So it goes down, it goes down, it goes down. Notice I haven't even gotten to this line yet. This is what that line normally looks like, but it's only defined for after we hit 6, so 6 and above. I just drew this for my own edification. Is that the word, Levi?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it starts here and it goes down from there. And then just to get a sense of what the y value is, wow, this is really a faint line. There we go. If we plug 6 in to that function, negative 2x plus 5, that'd be negative 12 plus 5, which is negative 7. So this right here is negative 7. Okay, now the other one. The other one is the parent function is x squared, but they did a lot of transformations to this thing. They gave it a vertical stretch of 3, they moved it to the right by 1 unit, and they brought it down by 2 units. So let's see what that would give us. Normally, our parent function is going to look like this. We gotta just get rid of markers big time, Levi. Why do we never do this? Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. Okay, that is the parent function. Now we're going to apply all sorts of things. We are going to move it to the right by 1. So it will now be here. That's our first transformation. I probably should not keep drawing parabolas like this. We are going to bring it, we're going to do a vertical stretch of 3 to the right. 1 hop this time. Ha! Cha-cha real smooth. Last time to get funky. That'd be really sad if it really was the last time to get funky. For a lot of people it is. There will be some last time for everyone. The last time to get funky. Vertical stretch of 3. All the points are now going to be 3 times higher. That's at 1. Now it's going to be at 3. This is at 1. Now that's going to be at 3. This is at 4. So that's now going to be at 12. So this thing is going up. And this thing is, this is all going to be at 12. So this thing is going to be a lot skinnier than it was before. And then we have the vertical translation, which is -2. So now it's going to be brought down by 2 units. So it's going to be here now. Here, here. You know, it's just going to be a little bit lower than it currently is. Okay, now I see this thing. This thing is going to be going upwards to the left forever, and it's going to be going upwards to the right until it hits our dividing line, which happens at 6. So if we put in 6, we'll find what that point will be. 6 minus 1 squared minus 2. We have 3 times 25 minus 2, which is 75 minus 2, which is 73. So this hits up there at 73. That's the y value. Okay, so let's look at the range now. The range. This thing goes up to positive infinity. So we definitely have positive infinity as the upper limit. Down, we get all the way down to the bottom here, which is at -2. But we have nothing below that for a while. We have no way of having a y value between -2 and -7. So that's not defined in our range. Our range will pick back up again at -7 and go downwards to -infinity. So the lowest this thing could be is -infinity, and it's going to go there until it gets to -7. And at -7, we are defined. That is not a hole. That is the actual function at -7. So that's going to be a hard bracket around 7. We have to unite this with the other part of our range because they're two separate parts of the range, but our range is composed of both of those parts. So that's where we do a union. And the lowest it gets is -2, which we have brackets at because it can actually be -2, and it goes up to positive infinity. We use a parenthesis for that. So that's going to be your range for this piecewise function. Makes sense. Thank you all. Very good. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving us questions to digest, because we know, and you all know that we're hungry. Question 86. So we got biology questions here. Oh man, I don't know if we can do this thing. I'm gonna take a look at it. Gonna have to take a look at it. What does this question say? The miter needle is used to break the spindle fibers in the tension. Huh. That's interesting. Huh. Oh, that's fascinating, actually. Okay. The rest of the bio question. All right, so Meeman. This is mitosis we're talking. When cells are mitosising, I do a little. I can do the bio subject test, just general, because that's a compressed version of the bio curriculum. Doing just general bio. Okay, look, I can do it. Fine, I can do it. Chemist, I'll do it. If that's what you need help with, I can help you. I just need to get. Basically, you got to send me your homework ahead of time so I can do a quick review if I need to. That's the downside. Certain subjects I can just look at, and I've done so much of it that I know it. Other subjects I have to do a little review for myself. Can we do it? Yeah, Meeman. Okay, so. Okay. The stages of mitosis. There's interphase, which is just the normal stage for a cell to be in. No mitosis is happening. Most of a cell's career is just spent in interphase, which is between mitosising. And meiosis also does. Can I pay to do my homework? Absolutely not. Is that acceptable? No, it's unacceptable. So the spindle fibers come out of the centromeres, which are at the different poles of the cell, which is in its process of dividing. I'd have to draw a picture here. Have to draw a picture. Well, okay. If he is tutoring you, yes, but not literally doing it. I have to draw a picture here. Levi, what do we do? Do we make him?
Are you drawing a picture?
No, I mean, do I do this question or do we make him contact us for tutoring?
This?
Yeah.
Is this chemist?
Yeah, it's biology.
Oh. I would say don't write up the whole question. If you want to answer it, just go for it, but do it fast.
Okay.
I wouldn't spend time on this question.
Okay, so cells are not split yet. You got your centromeres on both sides, and they have these spindle fibers that are reaching out to the chromosomes.
Do you need to see this down here?
No. Sorry, not. These are centrioles, and then centrosomes or centromeres. Centromeres are the points that connect the two chromatids in a chromosome. Okay, so what this is saying is these have been split apart already, and they're both working towards their opposite cells. I don't think you'd actually see the fissure as it splits yet, because it's still got a lot of work to do. But basically, you've got chromatids that are being sucked towards this centriole situation on both sides. All right, and then they're saying that if you took some kind of a needle and you cut this, so these are all moving towards, we see this direction, this way, okay? If you cut these fibers, these all reverse direction for a little bit. They're going the opposite direction, and then over time, your fibers start forming again, and then once they reform, they resume their path going this way. If that happened, that means there's something pulling them that way that was ready to take over the entire time. It just wasn't. So it's almost like you've got these two forces, and one of them is dominating the other force. So we're going this way, even though there's a slight force pushing this way. But then once this force is gone, this force now has nothing to oppose it, so it's going to be going. So if that's the case, there must be spindle fibers on the other side as well, connecting it to this side. These spindle fibers just aren't doing as good of a job as the ones on the correct side of the cell. They must be attached to the other side as well. That's the only conclusion that I could draw that would make that possible. Otherwise, they would just be adrift. If you cut these, they should just chill for a little bit. The fact that they're actively being pulled there immediately means there must have been spindle fibers connecting them to the other centrioles as well. Does that answer your question, Meeman? Can I see the question again? I want to make sure that answer checks out. Yes, so it's going to be E. Yeah.
Do we have any other non-chemistry questions?
Biology.
Or non-biochemistry questions?
Biology.
Or biohistory?
Yeah.
We can answer those, or we can do other stuff. Actually, no. I would prefer to do SAT and ACT related stuff. Probably SAT, since that's on Saturday. If not, that's fine. We don't like it very much.
Chemist. Don't ask them. Chemist, don't worry. I'm going to take great care of you with physics. Great care. You're in good hands. These hands. And I've had these evaluated. These are good hands.
Tutor hands right there.
Oh yeah, big time.
Brady and I are much more professional in a private tutoring environment where it's not for free.
Yes. As long as we're not getting paid, we're going to be goofballs. As soon as we're paid, we start wearing ties. We start asking about the weather, inquiring
We inquire
as to the
after
local
the
weather.
Nice.
I said as to.
I said after.
Are those both okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're
Oh,
both
gosh.
idiomatic and weird.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. What's a guy to do with this with a guy like this?
Make him your business partner.
Yeah. If a college app is
due on November 1st, is it on November 1st at midnight? Yes.
You should check their website for
They
the
will say.
firm deadline.
They will give you a time.
It's also good to try to submit it before the deadline.
Yes.
Because you might run into problems like I ran into when I recently applied to some things. The problems I was able to fix, but
and none of it matters.
none of it matters actually because I didn't qualify for the program the entire time. Ha-ha!
That's what you wanted all the time.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Love
Hey,
it.
keep it up. Love it. Oh, gosh. What am I going to do? Languish? I will languish.
Yeah?
I think so. I have a child. 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna head out. But have a good night, everybody. We'll be back on Friday. But we're not here Thursday because tomorrow is
Halloween. Do not expect to see us here. Now, deuces, bozos. How's that?
I think there was nothing else you could have said there.